Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a special Crown Jewel post show, and kind of pretty much what we're going to talk about on the docket. Crown Jewel happened today. If you live in Central Time, it happened at 11 in the morning. If you lived in Eastern Time, it happened at 12 Eastern. Pacific, I'm assuming maybe like 9 in the morning. I don't know, like more than likely sometime in the morning. So, Crown Jewel. Let's kind of hop into it. Crown Jewel happened today, of course, October 21st at Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, at the Mohammed Abdu Arena on the Boulevard. And let's look at the matches real quick. There's a pre-show match of the Usos and the Hurt Business. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. I didn't see it. I woke up pretty, I don't want to say late, but pretty early, late, whatever you want to call it. The Usos won, which I heard was actually a pretty good match. I mean, I don't doubt it with the crop of talent there. The match was 10 minutes and 40 seconds. The first match on the show was Edge and Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match. Interesting that this started at the show, but I guess it made sense. I need to go back and watch this match because when this happened, I was kind of going back and forth in the house. I was doing laundry. But usually on my days off, because I just started a new schedule. I'm off Wednesdays and Thursdays now. I usually like to do laundry. I like to wait until it's like already at the top, so I can clean everything. I haven't had a chance to. I don't know if you guys saw. I kind of sprained my ankle. I guess you can call it like a minor sprain, if that's an actual like medical term, a minor sprain. We had just left my girl's grandma's house. I was getting into the car. What the fuck is this shit? I was getting into the passenger side. I was literally just getting into the car, and I guess I was off on gravity, whatever the hell you want to call it. And my left ankle got caught on something, and my right foot tripped. So I fell, hit my ass, but I twisted my ankle a little bit. I mean, it's fine now, but yesterday I legit couldn't walk. I couldn't even walk to the front door. My girl had to help me walk to the front door. So I just took like a shit ton of ibuprofen and rubbed some of that lotion on your foot. I have it right here. It's called Village Naturals Therapy Aches and Pains Muscle Relief Hand, Body, and Foot Lotion. So I rubbed that on my all over my foot and ankle. It worked like a charm. Might even just take a bath later just to get some of that nice shit to put in the bath to take away your aches and pains, I guess. But I'm fine now. Like I said, I was doing laundry during this match, so I didn't really get to watch the whole match. But I watched the last half. Looked entertaining. A lot of these Edge and Seth matches, they haven't been bad, but it's just they've been really long. Edge is proving, hey, I can go out there and work 30 minutes. It's like, yeah, but it's not really needed. You don't really need to, but hey, if you can do it, you can do it. And hey, he's doing it. So, again, I need to go back and rewatch this match. I was seeing everybody talking about how amazing it was and saying it was a match of the year candidate. It was, the best match between the two. So, hey, good for them. This is the last match of, I guess, between this feud, but now they're going to both be on Raw, which is just so odd because you would think if the feud's going to blow off, one of them is going to move. Like, I would have thought Edge would have at least went to Raw and Seth stands on SmackDown or vice versa. But they decided to put them both on Raw. That's just so weird, but whatever. But best of luck to both. Second match is Monsoor versus Mustafa Ali. Singles. Let me go back to the Edge and Seth match. That match was 27 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know if that was the longest match they've ever had. It feels like it. But anyways, Monsoor versus Mustafa Ali. This match was 10 minutes. It was good seeing, as a fellow Persian, as a fellow, Middle East man of Middle Eastern descent. It's good seeing two Middle Eastern boys out there, wrestling in front, just getting a chance on a pay-per-view, especially a pay-per-view like this. I like both guys. I think they're very talented. I think Monsoor has a lot of charisma. He has a lot of talent. Granted, his glass ceiling is Intercontinental Champion at best, maybe U.S. Champion. Same thing with Mustafa. I like these two as a tag team. I would have preferred if they kept these two as a tag team instead of splitting them up so soon, because I was liking where the dynamic was going. It was kind of similar to Orton and Riddle, where it was like, one guy didn't like the other guy, but the other guy wanted the other guy to like him. I thought it was going to go that way, but I guess they only wanted one tag team to be like that. But, hopefully they find a way to put these two back together. I don't know. But, pretty good match. I love that. I love Mansoor's finisher. I think that's a pretty cool finisher. So Monsoor wins. He gets a big pop for the crowd. Mustafa attacks him. And someone comes out. I don't know who it is. I'm trying to look that up. Hold on, I have the show right here. Who came out? So a guy came out in a traditional, Saudi Arabian, garb. I'm forgetting what the name of it is, which I should be ashamed I don't know what that is. Comes out, and he's, I have the name right here, Tarek Hamidi, who, as soon as he took off the thing over his head, the whole place went nuts. And Mustafa knew who he was. So I'm like, who is that? And Michael Cole's like, that's he won the silver medal in martial arts. I think that's what it was. And I'm just like, okay. I couldn't shit on it because I don't know who he is. I didn't watch the Olympics. Apparently he's, from Saudi Arabia. So cool, good use of a hometown celebrity. Fine with me. And, he came out and, took down Ali, and then he helped Monsoor up and then went to the back. So the crowd knew who he was. The crowd went nuts for him. So, that's cool. I can't shit on that. I can't knock it. So, I don't know what they would do with this feud. I don't know if they're going to keep it. I don't know. I say let him be a tag team again. Let Ali come out the next night and challenge Monsoor. Monsoor beats him, and then Ali kind of begrudgingly shakes his hand like, "You're the better man. You proved yourself to me." So I would have liked him as a tag team. Just seeing two Middle Eastern wrestlers, a Middle Eastern tag team that isn't stereotypical. That would have been cool. And I don't know. I just thought it would have been cool to keep a Middle Eastern tag team that isn't stereotypical. That's just two guys who happen to be Middle Eastern, who proudly show their colors that they're from the Middle East, and that they're out there to entertain and kick ass. Like, what more can you ask for? Next match, you have RK Bro, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This match was 8 minutes and 40 seconds. RK Bro comes out, and then Riddle comes out in a camel, while Orton is just like, what the fuck? Almost like Orton's thinking, like, it's kind of like the scene in Talladega Nights when Cal, shows Ricky Bobby his new gimmick. He's like, I'm the Magic Man. Now you see me. Now you don't. And then, Ricky Bobby just goes, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. is stupid because they thinking it first. Okay, I'll admit that was pretty awesome. That's basically what they reminded me of. Like Orton's like, okay, not gonna lie, I want to ride a camel. I love these two. Just keep these two together for as long as you can, at least until Mania. Again, another good match between these two. Their SummerSlam match was really good. I think this might have been the best match that these two teams have had. I mean, because AJ's AJ. AJ's great. AJ's always going to be great. I'm always going to love AJ. Almost, just he comes. I like what he does. He doesn't do things that a big man shouldn't do. He just works like a big man, and that's good. We haven't seen too many traditional big men in this company that just work like a big man. And his facials are great. I love his shit talking. It makes sense. He didn't do too much. He didn't look too bad in some spots. And you knew AJ was going to take the pin. And a lot of people are going to say that maybe diminishes AJ's spot. It doesn't. AJ at this point, AJ's done everything in this company that he could do. He's a 2-time world champion. He was Intercontinental champion. He was U.S. champion. Former tag team champion. He's done everything in this company. So I'm not even going to say that at this point he's just collecting a paycheck. He's out there trying to get this almost guy over. Who better to learn from than AJ Styles? So at this point, AJ is playing the role of mentor. And where they go from here, I don't know. Maybe AJ goes after Signal School. And Omos is, his Diesel. So I don't know what they do. I mean, I would usually think at this point that they would break him up, but they supposedly were going to do that, and then a lot of higher-ups in the company didn't think that'd be a good idea, including AJ. So I don't know what you could do. But this is another team I want to see together for a while. Whatever you can do with them. I don't know. But good match. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm. Randy counters it into an RKO. Riddle goes for the floating bro, or the flying bro, I think that's what it's called. Gets the pin, and RK Bro is still your tag team champion. And Orton is beloved in Saudi Arabia for some odd reason. People love. I mean, not to say odd reason, but of all the people you would think the Saudis would, you give a big pop for. You wouldn't think of Orton. You'd think of maybe like Roman or Cena or somebody. But they love Orton, and that's good. That's not a bad thing. And it looks like now they love Riddle. So, that's good. I love Riddle too. Next, you have the finals match for the Queen's Crown Tournament. You have Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven, a.k.a. Dewdrop, who I refuse to call her and just called her now. We'll just skip to the ending. Zelina wins. Zelina wins clean, by the way. She wins with, a red alert? That's what they call it. It's supposed to be like a standing Panama sunrise, if that's the best way I can describe it. And instead of winning like in a heelish way, like, I don't know, maybe taking the crown and smacking Piper in the head with it while the ref isn't looking, she wins clean. And it's just... Yeah, this tournament has just been, to me, a giant waste of time. It's just like, you have a Queen's Crown tournament and you don't have either Bayley, who I know she's hurt. I don't know when she's going to be back, but I'm just using her as an example. You don't have Bayley, you don't have Sasha, Becky, Charlotte. You don't have Bianca. I mean, hell, put some NXT girls in there. Put Io Shirai in there. Put Indy Hartwell in there. Put Zoe Stark in there. I mean, you had Liv in there, and Liv is over, but look what happened. She ends up getting jobbed out in the first round on Mella for whatever reason. You have Shayna in there, who was getting over, who was getting back over. That's a bit, I'll just reiterate that. And she ends up losing in a fuck finish to Piper. Who I don't have anything against Piper. I like Piper, but it's just like Queen Shayna. That would have been a much better thing. So it's just like, the point of these tournaments is just, instead of putting people that are actually over, and Kevin Castle, he was trying to be, I guess the best way I can describe it is he was trying to be more polite about it. where he was saying, she's not buried, she got over, blah, blah, blah. And, the point of this is to give her more TV time. And I'm just like, dude, she has been on TV ever since she came back. Ever since she came back in June or July? She has been on TV every single fucking SmackDown. To my recollection. And she has been jobbing out. She has done nothing but job to everybody. She has jobbed out mostly to Liv. She lost to Toni Storm in her debut, and look how great Toni Storm has phased out or panned out. And they decided to reward her for mediocrity. I mean, I told Johnny Z on Twitter, they basically rewarded whoever won this tournament for being really pretty but sucking at the same time. And that's basically what Zelina has been ever since she came back. She's a pretty girl, but she sucks. I mean, she blocked me on Twitter, but that's neither here nor there. She sucks. She is better as a manager. She's fucking small as shit. She is small. She is Marco's stunt size. And I know people are be like, what about Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio is a professional athlete. He's been a professional athlete for years. They know how to push him. They know how to make him look good in a match, and they know how to make him look not so good in a match. If Rey is wrestling Kurt Angle, that makes sense because Kurt Angle is not necessarily a big guy, but he's not a small guy. If he's wrestling the Big Show, he's going to lose against the Big Show. So, example. Zelina is better as a mouthpiece. She sucks in the ring. I don't care what anyone wants to spin the narrative like, oh, good for no, she sucks. She sucks. She's not good in the ring. She sucks. But she wins Queen of the Ring. So basically we have another Baron Corbin. Yippee skippy. This match was 5 minutes and 55 seconds because, of course, I think somebody pointed out the combined total of minutes in this whole Queen's Crown tournament has been at least as 10 minutes and 30 and I don't know however many seconds. So there you go. The next match is Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley in a no holds barred falls count anywhere match. This match was 11 minutes and 25 seconds. Kind of what you thought was going to happen. I mean, this is the best course of action for Goldberg, is to give him a falls count anywhere or a no holds barred or a blah 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 match, because if it was just a straight up wrestling match, it would have looked bad. And the storyline behind this was, Goldberg is still pissed off at Bobby for hurting his son. So he's been, telling Bobby, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. A lot of this match was, Bobby Lashley getting offensive, but Goldberg took over for the rest of the match, and he's just beating the shit out of Lashley because, of course. Hurt Business come out, but they get taken out by Goldberg. Goldberg spears Lashley off the top of the stage and takes the pin. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That is pretty much the end of Lashley. I'm going to be one of those people. I think that's kind of the end of Lashley. Lashley, his peak, obviously, the Hurt Business and becoming WWE Champion, which when he was dominant. But no. We gotta bring Goldberg in to just squash that for whatever fucking reason. Because it's Goldberg. And I don't hate Goldberg, but it's just, come on. Why are we sacrificing poor Bobby Lashley to Goldberg? I don't know. Just, I don't see Lashley getting another title shot or becoming world champion. I mean, he'll get a title shot, but I don't see him ever becoming world champion again. I don't want to go as far as saying he's buried, but I think he's done. And what I mean by buried is at least Goldberg didn't go out there and completely squash him. But Bobby didn't exactly look good towards the end of the match. So, oh my God. I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe he is buried. I don't know. Fuck it. But this didn't look good for Bobby personally. I wasn't surprised that he lost because it's going to be no holds barred. So you're going to be able to cover up Goldberg's weaknesses in the ring by trying to work a regular wrestling match. But I don't know what Bobby Lashley's going to do after this. I mean, keep him off TV for a bit. I think it's the best course of action to sell the fact that he's dead, apparently, because Goldberg killed him. And then just wait for MVP to come back. Which I don't see why he needs to take time off for broken ribs, even though he's a manager and he doesn't wrestle. I don't know. Put him in a wheelchair. Fuck it. Put him in a wheelchair. Cart his ass out there. I don't know. Next match is going to be Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor in the King of the Ring tournament finals. This match was 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Woods won, which I was happy about because I like Woods. I mean, I like Finn. I don't think I would have been mad if either guy won, but I think it was the right decision to let Woods win because, I mean, again, Finn at this point doesn't really need these type of wins anymore. I mean, he's basically just here to put people over. I don't know his contract status. I don't know if, he's maybe thinking about going to AEW, which I prefer he wouldn't. I mean, he seems like he's happy here. But he's done everything. Give Woods a break. Woods has done a lot for this company. I mean, his up, down, channel is making them money and getting them notoriety. And, of course, the New Day. The New Day sells merch. It makes them money. If you're going to make Vince money, you're going to get rewarded. And Woods, got rewarded for it. And good for him. It was a good match. I'm a fan of that old school Randy Savage elbow drop that he does. Gotta say that. I like the match. I wouldn't mind seeing another match. As far as where does Finn go from here? Finn, I mean, you can do something with Finn. I mean, hell, you can put him in a feud with Big E. Why the fuck not? You can put him in a feud with Edge. You can put him in a feud with Seth. You can put him in a feud with anybody, and it'll be a really good feud. It'll be a good match. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing this match again, maybe a little longer, to me, personally. But, good match. Good for Woods. I mean, now you can say the New Day has been successful in everything. Tag champions. You have two guys that are, one of them was a former world champion, the other is a current world champion. And one of them is now King of the Ring. Who could maybe be world champion? You never know. I mean, they made everybody in the Shield a world champion. Who's to say they're not going to want to make, Woods a world champion? Like, man, that's awesome. What if Woods ends up wanting to challenge Roman for the title? You know what I mean? Like, the match kind of sells itself. The head of the table, the tribal chief versus the king. Woods comes in, like, as the king of WWE, I decree that your next world champion shall be King Woods. Like, that would be cool. That would be a good match. I wouldn't mind it. Obviously, Roman's going to win. But I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind that feud. That could be a match at, like, TLC or Royal Rumble. Like, why the fuck not? Give Woods a chance. That's all I'm going to say. Give him a title shot. Why the fuck not? Fuck it. He's not bad in the ring. He's good on the mic. And he makes money. He gets a big reaction from the crowd. And I know the Jim Cornettes of the world, are going to want to say, funny don't sell money. It's like, oh, actually it does. How many of those Mr. Sacco socks sold? I mean, if anyone has any information on that, email me. Or, hit me up on Twitter or whatever. Anything that the New Day puts out sells. Bootios sold. I mean, it was just like a $20 box of not honey cheers, but Lucky Charms. Their unicorn horns sold. Anything else that they put out, it sells. So, I'm fine if we get to see Xavier versus Roman in the future. Next, we have the WWE Championship. Big E, the champion, versus Drew McIntyre in a singles match. The match is 13 minutes and 25 seconds. It's for the WWE Championship. I don't know if I mentioned it. I thought it was a good match. I was kind of worried about the mismatch because, Big E's a big guy, but he's also kind of short. He's kind of like Kurt Angle in some aspects, whereas he's in great shape, but he's a little shorter than most, but he could still work. Of course, McIntyre's Mac. I thought it was a good match. McIntyre doesn't disappoint. You can put him in the ring with anyone and he'll have a good match. As far if and I do have an if said opponent can work like a Big E. Big E can work. Same with Big E. Put him in the ring with somebody who can work and he will make it work. Just wrestling in general. But I thought it was a good match. There was a point where I thought Drew was going to win because I was thinking to myself, wait, is there a possibility that they'll give it to Drew and they'll have two champions on SmackDown and then Roman will beat Drew and he'll be the undisputed champion? Like that was a thought that crossed my head. But it didn't happen. Alas, it didn't happen. Big E ends up winning, which I thought the finish was kind of cool. I think it was Drew goes for Claymore, and then Big E counters it into a tilt-a-whirl into the big ending, which I thought was kind of cool. I thought it was very creative. So Big E wins, and the main event of Survivor Series, is Big E and Roman, champion versus champion. So that should be a good match. That's going to be a big match. Next, you have a triple threat for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. You have Becky Lynch, the champion, versus Bianca Belair and Sasha. I thought it was a good match. I'm not a fan of triple threats or multi-person matches because they can still be good, but they're always going to be sloppy. And this was pretty sloppy at some point, especially during the end of the match. I knew Becky was going to win. I was kind of fine with how she won because she's a heel. She won in a very heelish way. Even though it's a triple threat match, so you would think it's no rules, but whatever. So Becky's going to stay as the SmackDown champion. She's going to be on Raw. Charlotte's the Raw Women's champion. She's going to be on SmackDown. So I don't know if they're going to do like a thing where the Usos and... Not the Usos. New Day and Street Profits are going to do the little switcheroo. It's like, hey, you're the SmackDown Tag Champion and you're on Raw and blah, blah, and then just switch belts. I mean, that kind of looks like that's what they're going to do. I mean, a boy can still have hope. I just hope they combine both belts and have one woman's champion. But that's more than likely never going to happen. But Becky wins. I'm assuming they're going to continue her and Bianca because it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, the next pay-per-view is coming up, so far it looks like we're getting Becky and Charlotte since it's going to be champion versus champion. And then we can get Bianca leading the women of Raw versus, Sasha leading the women of SmackDown. That's the way it looks. And I'm fine with it. Becky and Charlotte usually have good matches. You don't have to worry about them stinking out the door. Or they might even make a last-minute change to kind of have a better matchup. So, who knows? Maybe Ronda might come back. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but she's a mom. She's a mom now, so she might want to stay on for as long as she can. Now we get to the main event. The Universal Championship match with Roman Reigns, the champion, with Paul Heyman versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar looking like Prince Goro from Mortal Kombat. Brock looks good. Someone said he hasn't wrestled a match in, 18 months? Really? Because the last match he had was at WrestleMania from last year, and that was the empty arena. So that was in April. So, son of a bitch, yeah. 18 months. Who would have known? Brock looking good. Brock didn't look as gassed as he usually does. Because I was kind of worried because I was still doing laundry right when they were doing the announcements in the ring. And the match kind of barely began. I'm like, all right, I don't want to miss anything because, I don't know if Brock is going to have a long match. And he did. The match was 12 minutes and 20 seconds, which was longer than any Brock match of recent. And him and Roman had a good match. This was a much better match than the previous matches from years ago. Roman is Roman. Roman is the top guy. He's the heel. Brock is, I don't know if you want to call him a face. I would say he's more of a gray area guy. He's not going to wave the white flag and go, I'm the good guy. Like, no, he's still Brock. Like the people are cheering him, but he's still Brock. And it looked good. These two have good chemistry. There's no doubt about that. But this match I thought was better than their last few matches. There was a point where, again, I thought Brock was going to win. There were points where I thought Brock would win. And maybe even challenge Drew McIntyre for a rematch at Mania. I don't know. I'm just thinking shit. But when Little Nate, Charles Robinson, he gets knocked down. When Brock's going for the F5 and he's conveniently standing right there, I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Roman's legs end up hitting him. Brock literally picks up Little Nate like he's just like a piece of shit. Roman goes for a spear. Paul throws the belt in the ring, goes, you know what to do. They both grab the belt. Brock grabs the belt. The fucking Usos, of course, are under the ring. They just magically appear up under the ring and they super kick. They super kick Brock. I forgot. Roman takes the belt and hits Brock in the head with it and goes to the pin. And the referee just conveniently pops up in the ring and counts 1, 2, 3. So there we go. I mean, the match was fine. It was a good match. It felt like a Mania match. Like, these two actually went in there and worked. It was a really good match. The ending, I mean, I guess they don't want to make Brock look weak. And I'm going to pull a CM Punk card. They don't want to make Roman look too strong. They still want to make Roman, the top guy. They want to have him win, but they don't want to make him look too strong. They don't want to make Brock too weak. So they want to do like, Roman needed his family to beat Brock. So I don't know what they're going to do with this feud now. I mean, I don't know where Brock's going to go. I mean, I'm assuming Brock's not going to be back until Rumble. That's my guess. I mean, because what else could you do with him? I mean, can you bring him back at SummerSlam? I mean, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series? You can, but what are you going to do with him? I don't know. The odds-on choice is that it looks like he's not going to come back until Raw. That is my best guess, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so that was my Crown Jewel review. Overall, not a bad show. I mean, there were some matches I enjoyed. If I had to pick the best match of the night, I need to go back and watch Edge and Seth, so I can't really say that was my favorite match because I didn't watch the whole match. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up between Xavier and Balor, and Drew and Big E. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Xavier and Finn Balor as my match of the night. That's my match of the night. Worst match of the night. The women's Queen's Crown thing. Zelina winning, which is just stupid as hell. And then Goldberg just destroying Bobby. But yeah, if I had to give Crown Jewel anything, I would maybe give it. I would give it. Fuck it, I'm gonna give it a B+. I didn't hate it. I thought it was actually a very good pay-per-view, and the crowd actually did seem like they were into it. They weren't just there because they had to be. Like it seemed like they were actually enjoying everything on the show, the matches. It was interesting. It was good seeing more women's matches on the show. You had a women's referee, and then you had 2 women's matches. One of them not so good. The other was good. So, good. I'm glad we're getting this far. We're bringing women in Saudi Arabia. Women wrestlers. Good. I'm happy for that. But that's Crown Jewel. That's my review. Tomorrow's SmackDown, and it will be the first show with everybody on their new shows. Drew McIntyre's on SmackDown. Charlotte's now on SmackDown. I don't feel like we'll be in the roster, but will Brock Lesnar be there? I don't know. Like I said, I personally think we're not gonna see him until Rumble, or maybe like the month of Rumble. Because I know there's not gonna. Well, actually, you know what? I just remembered something. Because I said Xavier should maybe face Roman at TLC. TLC's not gonna happen this year. They already took TLC off the card, so we're not gonna get a pay-per-view in December. But we're gonna get a pay-per-view on New Year's Day. And I forgot what the name of the pay-per-view is called. Fuck. Let me get it up real quick. I think it's called like Brand New Day or New Year or some bullshit like that. Day One. It's called Day One. I think it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. I forgot about that. So Day One. Survivor Series is going to be in Brooklyn, New York, at the Barclays Center. So that should be pretty huge. I like Survivor Series. I always enjoy Survivor Series. Royal Rumble and Survivor Series are usually my two favorite events of the year. So we got that. I'm only allowed an hour on Anchor, so I'm trying to figure out what I can talk about. I don't want to leave it at like 36 minutes. I mean, any basketball fans out there, any Spurs fans, the season started yesterday with a big win, and not a barely win. Like they actually beat the shit out of Orlando. And yeah, it's Orlando, but lately with the Spurs, it's like been hit or miss where they'll barely beat bad teams. They'll have these weird spurts where it's just like they'll beat the Clippers and then they'll either lose to or barely beat like the fucking fill in the blank of any bad team. The Orlando Magic, for example. And they beat the shit out of Orlando. Like they really beat them like badly. And I'm happy. DeMar DeRozan's no longer on the team. He's in Chicago. And I like Chicago. And DeMar looks like he's happier there, so good for him. This Spurs team is a lot younger. This is the youngest Spurs team I can remember. No stars. I mean, you have future stars. DeJounte Murray, I think, is a future star. The guy gets better every year. I was heavily impressed with what I saw from Devon Vasel. I don't know if it's Vasel or Vasel. I'm just going to call him Vasel. He was great last night. Was it 18 points? He had 2 big steals. So good for him. I like what I've seen from him. I'm glad they drafted him. Derek White, of course, is always good. Doug McDermott had a really good game in the starting lineup, so good for him. Jakob Poeltl had a double-double, 12 points and 12 boards, I believe. Solid big man. I'm hard on him because I see him as he's a solid big man, but I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I don't want to be hard on him because I do like him. I like what I see from him, but I don't know. I don't know how far he's gonna take this team. The rookie Joshua Primo, who I've been hard on. I've been hard on the kid, and he's literally a kid. He's 18 years old, and he's the youngest youngest NBA player to go to college. He's 18 years old. He's not even 19. The guy can't even drink. And the crowd was clamoring for him, and he hit a 3, and the place went nuts. And granted, this was in garbage time, so prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Josh. Maybe I'll be a fan of yours. Maybe. And just the rest of the team played pretty good. So I'm a Spurs fan through and through. I'm always going to be a Spurs fan. I'm hard on them because I care. I want them to do good. I look at the team now. I don't see them making the playoffs, in my opinion, because you look at the teams in the West. You got LA. You got the 2 LA teams, like the Clippers and the Lakers. You got Utah. They got something to prove. You got the Denver Nuggets. They're a hell of a team, and Spurs play them next. Phoenix, who just went to the finals last year. Portland, which everyone seems to love, and they think Damian Lillard is a lot better than what he is. They're still going to be a team that tries to make the playoffs. Dallas, of course, is another good team. Luka Doncic is a hell of a player. I'm trying to think of another team that can fill that spot. Memphis has always been they've always been a pretty tough team to face. But, I'm not going to be surprised if the Spurs don't make the playoffs. I'd be surprised if they do, and I'd be happy. But I would prefer if they don't, and they get a top 5 pick. Preferably a number 1 pick, and maybe get the next Tim Duncan, maybe get the next David Robinson. The Spurs always find ways to keep themselves afloat. They're going back to what made them. They're going back to drafting homegrown stars, to creating homegrown stars. And then pretty soon, we might end up seeing another Tim Duncan, or another David Robinson. So, Greg Popovich is no dummy. R.C. Buford is no dummy. They know how to draft. So, for all we know, Joshua Primo might be the next big thing. Who knows? And when he wins the MVP, he's gonna say, "Drew Yar, you can go fuck yourself." and I'm just gonna be there like, okay. That's gonna be my reaction. Go fuck yourself, Drew Yard. Okay, I will go fuck myself, Joshua. So that the Spurs are good. Football, the Cowboys are looking pretty good. I like the Cowboys, I like the Patriots, and the Cowboys beat the Patriots in overtime. The Patriots are not a very good team this year. Mac Jones, I think, is really good. He has a future. So there's that, and then baseball. I'm not really a big baseball guy. I know a lot of people are. You got the conference finals. Houston is up 3-2 against Boston. Everyone in San Antonio goes for Houston, so I'm going to go for Houston. So if Houston wins, that'd be pretty cool. And then in hockey, I'm a Knights fan, and the Knights just won a game. The Knights. The thing about the Knights is that they're always a very good team, and they always get very far in the playoffs. But they don't know how to close the deal. Like in their first year, literally their first year of existing, they went to the Stanley Cup, and they got beaten 5 games by Washington. It's still impressive. Your first year as a team, and you make the Stanley Cup. And then, for the past few years, they've had really good records, and they made the playoffs. Last season, they made the conference finals, and they were close to winning. They were a ball hero. So they traded away, Fleury, which we're pretty pissed off over, because we're a Golden Knights family, and we love Fleury, and they traded him, and we're not too happy about that. But you got, I guess, out with the old and with the new. You need young blood out there. Fleury's not exactly a spring chicken. Where news? Entertainment news. The only thing I can really think of at the top of my head, there's an Uncharted trailer. Any Uncharted fans out there? I'm a fan of Uncharted. I like the games. I'm not sure how to feel about this movie. They changed the lore, which I don't have a problem with them changing things, but it's just like there's some times where they change things where I'm like, that was maybe a little bit unnecessary. Because in this they decided to go with Nathan Drake is younger. Mark Wahlberg is Saul, and doesn't have the mustache, but he put up an Instagram photo where it looked like he was trying on a mustache. Tom Holland is Nathan Drake. I like Tom Holland. A lot of his post Spider-Man stuff. Well, I don't want to say post because he's still going to be Spider-Man. But the stuff he's doing when he's not Spider-Man, I'm not crazy about. I liked, was it The Devil Within or The Devil something? That movie that was on Netflix. That was actually pretty good. Everything else he's done, I've not been crazy about. But I want to like this movie because I think Tom Holland is really good. And I mean, who knows? This could be the next big franchise for him. He's gonna have 2 franchises with Sony. So I want to like this. I don't want to be the grumpy old man that hates everything. I want to like this. Hopefully it's good. The trailer doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like it's going to be like a by the numbers type of movie, but it didn't wow me. Like, I didn't watch the trailer and go, wow. Like, my girlfriend, she watched the trailer and she doesn't know anything about Uncharted. And she was like, they basically just showed you the whole movie. I don't know. I want to like it. I want to like it. When it comes out, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it in theaters because it's only going to be in theaters. I don't know. I want to like it. That's all I'm going to say. I want to like the movie. But that's the show. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who listens to the show. There's going to be more Patreon stuff. I was supposed to do something with Jeff Littman yesterday, but because of my, I don't even want to say injury, but my predicament, my condition, I had to postpone. But we're going to do more shit next week. I'm going to do something with Ruben. I'm definitely going to do something with RJ, and I'm going to do something with Jeff. But until then, see you guys next week. Take care. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed. What was I going to say? I hope you enjoyed. I was going to say Small for some reason. Hope you enjoyed Crown Jewel. And peace.